A brand new All Elite Wrestling Warner Brothers Discovery media rights television deal representing a significant increase is believed to be imminent, with some speculation and suggestion we could be getting an announcement as soon as tomorrow's AEW All In event. We'll let you know all the details on that. Plus, speaking of All In, an update when it comes to the current ticket distribution numbers for the pay-per-view from Wembley Stadium. AEW star Chris Jericho was actually mentioned on SmackDown WWE television last night. Sting's son posts that he's in London amid rumours that the recently retired WWE Hall of Famer could potentially make an appearance at All In this weekend. Jacob Fatu is named as the enforcer for the Bloodline, but a change when it comes to the Bloodline's WWE Tag Team Championship reign has been confirmed. LA Knight successfully retains his United States Championship with an open challenge announced for next week. Will Ospreay calls out reported recent AEW signee Ricochet ahead of AEW All In, and Claudio Castagnoli, the AEW star, has won the CMLL Grand Prix, but he will still compete in London this weekend. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. And let's begin with the latest development when it comes to this media rights negotiation, this media rights deal between All Elite Wrestling and Warner Brothers Discovery. And lots of people saying, just talk about it when a deal is confirmed and announced. Well, this could be the last video before an announcement is made, because an announcement looks to be imminent, announcing a new media rights deal between AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery. The long-discussed media rights deal between All Elite Wrestling and Warner Brothers Discovery has appeared to be inching towards completion over the last month, with most recent reports indicating that WBD has offered AEW an extensive new contract, which AEW is in the process of reviewing. Now, just a few days before AEW's landmark event at Wembley Stadium, AEW All In, the saga shows every sign of nearing its final curtain. On Friday, reporter Andrew Zarian of the McMahon podcast posted the word imminent on X, and then followed up with a slightly less cryptic elaboration. Quote, WBD sources have expressed continued confidence that a deal is happening with a significant increase, Zarian said. Plans for AEW content in 2025 on WBD continue to shape up. Now, in the replies to his post, Zarian also made it clear that his sources believe the deal will involve putting up AEW content on the Max streaming service, although he doesn't know what will happen in terms of AEW's pay-per-view model. He's also clear that the new deal is a good one for AEW. The promotion, of course, will air its second consecutive All-In event from Wembley Stadium on Sunday. Of course, we'll be live for a watch-along and a post-show for that. Be sure to join us here on the channel. But many fans have speculated that AEW President and CEO Tony Khan plans to announce the new media rights deal during the show tomorrow. We get any more details on this, of course, we'll let you know in an upcoming video, or of course, we'll witness it in real time when we watch All In together live for the watch along and the post show tomorrow. Now, speaking of AEW All In, a bit more of an update when it comes to the attendance for tomorrow's pay-per-view at Wembley Stadium. This comes courtesy of WrestleTix. Now, the latest number that's being put out there by WrestleTix is that over 50,000 tickets have been distributed, specifically 50,859. The current setup is for 54,032, so that's just over 3,000 tickets still available. Now, that is a bit of a jump from the last update, which was a day ago, close to 400 tickets being distributed. Now, WrestleTix does kind of state that they have added some extra seats. His expectation is that they'll announce a number between 55 and 60,000 if they make an announcement. Of course, they did last year. It remains to be seen if they do make an announcement this year. And WrestleTix also says if you account for suites and sections that he may have underestimated, he's still waiting to see if they open up in full on the upper deck hard cam side or even in the lower bowl hard cam side. They may be closer to 55,000. Now, again, until we get an announcement from AEW and until people do the proper fact checking and actual turnstile number and what have you, we won't have a confirmed number for quite some time, but it looks like over 50,000 people will be in attendance for AEW All In tomorrow. And speaking of AEW, we actually had a bit of a cross-promotional feature, kind of, last night on Friday Night SmackDown, because WWE SmackDown featured the inclusion of AEW star Chris Jericho in a very notable list of friends turned foes of a top star. On last night's SmackDown, the show kicked off with an edition of The Grayson Waller Effect, starring undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes. While Waller began by floating his theory that Cody Rhodes is a villain of this story, he went on to present some evidence as to why Kevin Owens should not be trusted. During the segment, Waller, with Austin Theory by his side, ran a video package of all the times Kevin Owens has turned on allies in WWE, including a notable inclusion. The 2017 Festival of Friendship segment, featuring current AEW star Chris Jericho, was shown, as Jericho's name was also shown on screen. The segment featured the dramatic implosion of the friendship between Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens during Jericho's The List gimmick era in WWE. However, when Owens gifted Jericho a new list that featured only his name, Owens turned on his former friend in spectacular fashion. Of course, other names were included with the likes of Sami Zayn, Big E, Kofi Kingston, and others. But of course, certainly significant that an AEW star would appear, kind of, in terms of archival footage on WWE programming. Not the first time, though. Now, going back to AEW All In tomorrow, and is this confirmation that indeed we're going to get an appearance from the Icon Sting? Now, ahead of the Wembley Stadium show, there has been some speculation that Sting will soon return to AEW television following his retirement from in-ring competition earlier this year. While it was recently reported that Sting will be making the trip to the UK for the Stadium show, his son, Garrett Borden, has now confirmed that he is in town ahead of the AEW pay-per-view. Garrett took to Twitter to share a photo in London with the caption, quote, "Made it to London." Now, this has fueled speculation that Sting could be making an appearance during the show. It's not known whether Sting will simply be just there to visit the event or if he planned to make an on-screen appearance on the pay-per-view itself. There have been rumours swirling that Sting returning to AEW television, that he will be somewhere to watch AEW All In. He's been backstage at recent AEW TV tapings. Could he possibly get involved in Darby Allin's coffin match for the TNT Championship with Jack Perry? Of course, we'll have to wait and see tomorrow. Going back to SmackDown last night, Jacob Fatu, he's the new enforcer of the Bloodline. The Bloodline retained the WWE Tag Team Championships over the Street Profits on SmackDown, but it was a different combination of the stable than who originally won the titles. In an in-ring promo before the match kicked off, Solo Sikoa told Jacob Fatu to give his belt to Tonga Loa. Sikoa said he couldn't be Tag Team Champion when he was going to be Sikoa's personal enforcer. Fatu, still in a walking boot following an apparent injury at SummerSlam, agreed and gave up the belt, but the injury didn't stop him from interfering in the match to follow. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins started off the match strong and held their own against the Gorillas of Destiny, even looking to have the match won at one point. Dawkins pushed Tonga and Loa into the ring barricade, and Ford flew over the top rope, taking out the champions. While both members of the Street Profits were on the outside, Fatu interfered, hitting both with a super kick with his foot in the boot. Back in the ring, Tonga hit a flatliner to Dawkins and pinned him for the victory. The Bloodline continued to beat down the Street Profits following the match before DIY's music hit and Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa ran down the ramp to help. They hit double super kicks onto Sikoa before Fatu grabbed Gargano from the outside as the team looked for a meeting in the middle. Sikoa recovered and Fatu continued to beat down DIY. He held up Gargano for Solo to hit a Samoan spike, and the new Tribal Chief hit one on Ciampa as well. Now, LA Knight, he's closing in on the same amount of title defenses that Logan Paul achieved during his run as United States Champion. LA Knight has officially made it past his first defense of the WWE United States Championship, defeating Santos Escobar on Friday's episode of SmackDown. Knight won the bout by defeating Logan Paul at SummerSlam earlier this month. Before the match started, Legado del Fantasma's Angel and Berto attacked LA Knight. The referee threw them and Elektra Lopez out and officially started the match. Knight went for the immediate roll-up for two, but Santos threw him into the corner and hit a pile driver. After the break, Knight slammed Escobar's face into the announce table repeatedly before ripping the cover off to expose the monitors. Escobar took control back, however, sending the champion face first into the table and hitting a Meteora on Knight onto the announce table. Escobar rolled Knight back into the ring and nailed a frog splash off the top rope, but only got two. Escobar continued to control the match until Knight got in a back elbow, then followed up with a clothesline and a sidewalk slam for two. Escobar blocked the BFT and hit a high kick, but after they went to the top and Knight pushed Escobar off the top rope, he hit a surprisingly agile springboard flying elbow and hit the BFT to retain the title. Escobar would later get into it with Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews backstage, indicating that he's moving on from Knight. Later on in the episode, though, Knight announced he would be defending the title next week in an open challenge. But as of right now, we don't know who's going to be answering said open challenge. Now, Will Ospreay, he's got a lot of history with former WWE superstar Ricochet, and he's already called out the recent reported AEW signee. AEW, of course, has a lot of wrestlers on their books who claim to be the best, but there's only one who can call himself the one and only. Of course, that is Ricochet, who looks to be on his way to AEW in the near future after reports of the former Intercontinental Champion from WWE signing a multi-year deal with the company broke earlier this week. One of the men who claim to be the best in the world right now is current AEW star Will Ospreay, who had a series of matches with Ricochet in 2016 and 2017 that acted as the breakthrough moment for Ospreay in his career, and the former WWE star is often considered one of Ospreay's greatest opponents. With news of Ricochet's pending arrival in AEW fresh on his mind, Ospreay used a little time during a recent interview with TalkSport to call out his former foe and made it very clear he wants to face the man who revolutionized the high-flying style of wrestling around the world and not the man who has been in WWE for the past 6 years. Quote, "If it is true and he is coming to AEW, I'm calling you out to remind everybody who the F you are, bruv," Ospreay declared. "You, without a shadow of a doubt, were the man. Dragon Gate, PWG, the indies around the world, no one could effing touch you. So I'm calling you out, bruv. I am saying remind the world that you're one of the best to have ever done this shit because I believe it. And if I believe it, then you've got to believe it yourself now, boss." So whether or not we're going to get Ospreay versus Ricochet feels inevitable, but as of right now, we don't know. And finally, Claudio Castagnoli, a very, very, very busy weekend for the Blackpool Combat Club member. Now, between his appearances at Wednesday's AEW Dynamite and Sunday's All-In pay-per-view, Claudio Castagnoli found time to win a major match. With AEW All-In London set to emanate from Wembley Stadium tomorrow, AEW brought Dynamite to the UK for the first time ever earlier this week. Castagnoli competed in one of the top matches at Cardiff, wresting AEW Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada to a time-limit draw. While many expected Castagnoli to take the scenic route from Cardiff, Wales to London, England, the Blackpool Combat Club member instead flew over 5,000 miles to Mexico to compete in the CMLL Grand Prix elimination match at Friday's Venice Spectacular show. Castagnoli ultimately won the CMLL International Grand Prix, last defeating Volador Jr. to win the contest. The AEW star celebrated with his trophy after the match. You can view the photo right there on the screen. Now, what next for Castagnoli? Well, the Swiss Superman will now return to the UK for AEW All-In, which will emanate from Wembley Stadium in London, England. Now, he's not confirmed for a match, but the speculation is that he'll probably be in the Casino Gauntlet match. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.